Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Hey, OM, what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you may not believe this, but it's been a pretty good weekend. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. This Memorial Day weekend's been a washout here in the Northeast in New York City. But what wasn't a washout for the first time in my life has been two very big things. One being Saturday night's main event was actually a very good show. At least if you did what I did, and you cut out the main event, and you didn't watch the World Tag Team Championship, then you had a great time. If you finished it all the way to the end, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of the main event that shouldn't have been the main event. The other big thing going on is the New York Knicks are one win away from our first trip to the NBA Finals in God knows how long. But that's just a personal thing here. I got my WWE officially, sponsored New York Knicks shirt from Madison Square Garden, and we are ready for basketball, but more so we are ready to talk about Saturday night's main event, because I'm here to tell you about everything that went wrong with the show, and surprisingly, like I said, is not very much. Not very much. Really, the winners and losers were all okay for the most part throughout the entirety of the card. The problem was the pacing and the location of certain matches, specifically the one I've already touched upon. The Tag Team Championship being the main event of this show was just, mind-boggling to me. I in my house, me and my family, we cannot stand the Vision. The Vision, we hate them so much that they make us want to be blind. And this time, having not to have to watch the rest of the show, and being that they were closing out the show, we decided, that's it. I think we're done. We're done. We're not going to watch this match. Paul Heyman, I used to be a Paul Heyman guy, right? I still am a Paul Heyman guy from day one, when being a Paul Heyman guy was cool. But Paul Heyman shows up on my screen now and I cringe. Logan Paul shows up on my screen and I want to throw this sledgehammer through my 62-inch 4K television in the living room. There's no words. There's no words for how I feel about it. I can't stand him. It's not heel heat. It's get off my television screen heat. It's at least with me. Right? Austin Theory, I could take him or leave him. I don't really like him with the Vision. I liked him better with Grayson Waller. And Braun Breaker needs to get away from them altogether. Hopefully Bronson Reed comes back. He doesn't even have anything to do with them anymore. So it was a waste of a main event. What should have been the main event definitely was the match that stole the show. For the entirety of the night, I could not stop thinking about Penta versus Ethan Page. Ethan Page, a future world heavyweight champion. Mark it down right now. I'm telling you, if you watched him in NXT, if you watched any of his previous stuff, and you're familiar with Ethan Page, you know what I'm talking about. This guy makes a championship. Talk about how the man makes the title. This guy knows how to do that. He made the North American Championship the must-see title in NXT. I love everything about Ethan Page. I love everything about Penta. I was a little iffy with the way they've been booking him, and I actually thought they were going to give it to Ethan Page and they were going to screw Penta once again. Thankfully, that's not what happened here. This match should have been the match that closed the show. We should have went off the air with Penta Cero Miedo doing the whole thing, fireworks, whatever you wanted to, Saturday night's main event close out. But instead, I don't even know how they closed out because we didn't watch the main event. The real problem with this show is that was the biggest issue. But there were some other minor issues. Let's go and take a look at the entire card. Here we go, the WWE retarded review screen where they glaze all over everything, even if it's a pile of crap. We started the show with the 6-woman tag. Decent tag. Worst thing about this match, Charlotte Flair's hairdo and outfit. I know it was made of friendship bracelets that she's collected over the years, and that's very touching. But Charlotte Flair's constantly losing her clothes. I've seen more parts of Charlotte Flair nude than I have seen of my wife as of late. It's been that crazy with her wardrobe malfunctions. This outfit was ridiculous. And the hairdo was ridiculous. It looked like the circus came out and exploded all over Charlotte Flair. The bows didn't help, but that's me just being me. All right, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm just calling it like I see it, which is what we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. But Charlotte Flair's appearance aside, I think everybody thought that the super team of Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa were going to just bowl over Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Mi Chin, who were dressed coming out in tribute to Michael Jackson, which I thought was a pretty cool thing. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Jade and her crew stole a victory here, and I thought that was fine. I thought everything in this match was fine. No problems that much, other than having to watch Charlotte Flair. She looked silly. She looked silly to me. I'm sorry. Let me know what you thought of Charlotte's get-up down in the comments. Then we moved on to a match that I have a problem with the way it finished. Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship was a decent match. It was alright. It was given enough time for them to do some stuff. I think Sol looked pretty good. She's been a little spotty in certain areas, but she's probably nervous, or maybe there's a difference between the main roster ring and the NXT ring. Maybe they didn't tighten the ropes enough. Maybe I'm just making excuses because I like Sol Ruca and I want her to succeed, and thus far, she's kind of, she's got the package, she's got the look. I like the old song better than the new song, which is a trend that's been happening as they bring up NXT call-ups. But Sol Ruca's great. And I didn't want her to lose this match, and she shouldn't lose, but it's not like this was her first match on the roster. It is Becky Lynch, and if you wanted to start a storyline, you could do something very similar to what you did with Maxine, and you have Sol lose here and then just keep chasing. You have Becky cheat to win, or you have the referee bump, which is what they kind of did, but the spot was very confusing. Jessica Carr gets taken out by Sol Ruca because Becky Lynch pulled her into the line of fire. Now, two things. One, that was very confusing, and if Sol was the one that actually made contact with the referee, she is the one, technically, that should have been disqualified, even though it was Becky that pulled the ref in the way. It's a little convoluted, it's a little confusing. But then, two, how the hell did Lillian know who Jessica was giving the win to? She didn't go over there. Jessica Carr just did her little, you ring the bell, and then Lillian's like, oh, you're winner by disqualification, because she had the script in front of her. But, there was no conversation. Usually the ref goes and tells the ring announcer what happened. Jessica Carr is just on the floor. As far as I know, maybe I blinked, maybe I fell asleep for a half second and missed it. You could let me know, but I didn't see any communication for Lillian to know the precise call. And, maybe she called it wrong. Maybe it was supposed to be the other way. I don't know. I really don't. But the bottom line here is that was a very confusing finish. And I don't think anybody really enjoyed how that match ended. It just didn't feel good. And even though, Becky as the heel came out, doing dirty deeds and using heel tactics to avoid losing the championship because she didn't win, it just didn't come off right. There's just something off about it, and I didn't like it. It's just like, that was kind of cheap, and that didn't even make sense. At the very least, Sol should have got disqualified so that Becky could retain the title, and then Sol could have the argument that, it wasn't my fault, and this and that, and could push her way for a rematch. It could have been done something like that. We already touched upon the Intercontinental Championship for the men. Penta defeating Ethan Page in what was very easily the match of the night. There was so much going on here. Ethan Page and Penta made each other look like $1 million superstars. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Ethan. I'm so glad that they kept the title on Penta. I just feel like he's finally getting a little bit of respect. I hate how he was booked before. He was taking too many losses. I'm happy with where they're going with Penta. This was a fantastic match. If you go to watch the show for any reason at all, this is the reason to watch this show. This should have been the main event. No questions asked. Intercontinental Championship main event. This is the way to go. This was definitely the way to go. And the promo packages, and the backstage interviews, and the lack of commercials. This was a good show. It almost felt like an old school Saturday night's main event. The packaging that they did for the history of the Intercontinental Championship and the title defenses on Saturday night's main event before was beautiful. They did the same thing for the World Tag Team Championship. I thought it was great. I loved having the backstage interviews with the competitors before the show. These are things we've complained about that were missing from previous iterations of Saturday night's main event. What was missing from this was the overabundance of commercials, which begs to the question: is ESPN the problem? Maybe TKO's not the problem we've been making them out to be. Maybe it's ESPN's the problem, because Saturday night's main event was on Peacock, and this was a very easily digestible show. I wasn't thrilled about having commercials, but Saturday night's main event used to be on broadcast TV, so I'm used to having commercials on Saturday night's main event. It's not like a pay-per-view where you shouldn't have any commercials at all. I digress. That in and of itself made this show better than anything they've done on pay-per-view in the last 3 months. Since before Mania. Since this year began. This is one of the best shows they've done all year long. Might be the best show of the year by the time we're done, because we're going to go back to the bullshit ESPN format where every fucking commercial break interrupts entrances and takes time away from the WWE superstars that are making them all this money. I can't wait for them to get away from ESPN, because if it's more like what they're doing on Peacock, show's going to be better just based off of that. We had the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Paige and Brie Bella versus the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. It was a good match. I'll give it to the girls. It was fine. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with this match. They were given enough time to do a lot of stuff. Brie Bella looked like she's shaking the ring rust off pretty well. Paige performed very well in there. Lash Legend is great in the ring. I mean, she's gonna be a big star one day. I dig it. Nia Jax, she's a veteran. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of either one of these teams. I don't like makeshift thrown together teams. Nia and Lash are much more like an established tag team. I thought for sure they were gonna win. I figured the whole Paige return and Brie Bella nostalgia tour was over, and that we were gonna go back to business here. But that's not the case. That's not what happened. Paige and Brie Bella actually cheated to win, which is the one thing that stuck out in this match. Nothing they did really stood out to me, except for the fact that Paige got a roll-up on, I think it was Lash Legend, and Brie Bella held her down with her feet from behind, out of the view of the referee. Really clever. You don't really see that very much. But heel tactics by the babyface girls, weird. Just a little weird. But it was fine. It was absolutely fine. What wasn't fine was what they chose to be the main event, which we can't even talk about, because I didn't watch it. I don't know what happened. We could read about it. But do I want to? Not really. I don't care. Alright, Braun Baker came out. Obviously, he cost the Street Profits the title. Okay. Where are we going from here? I don't care. I don't care. I understand, thinking about it now, as we're talking about it now, that the WWE is talking about reestablishing the tag team division. So they wanted to highlight the tag team titles in the main event. But it's the champions that you have that are the problem. They're not even a real tag team. They're in a cringe faction that nobody likes legitimately. It's not fans being fans. It's, man, we hate this guy. Fire him. Joe Hendry nailed it. Has my fucking bandana been crooked this whole show? Do I look like a half retard? Oh my god. Jesus Christ, let me know. You guys let me know. Hopefully, when I go back to edit this, I don't look too bad. Because I ain't doing this again. This is the second time I'm trying to record this. Anyway, we talked about this whole show. There's really not much more to talk about. There wasn't much wrong with it. It was a very enjoyable episode of Saturday night's main event. It did have a few minor issues. The most major issue being, I don't like the vision. I didn't want to watch the main event. I didn't care. Is that disrespectful to the tag team division? Maybe. But if you had a decent set of champions, I don't think I would have changed the channel. Right, we just went through that whole crap with the Wyatts and their tag team championships, which mean nothing, which I don't even know who's the champs now. I forgot who's even got the belts over there because it's so unimportant. What they should do is merge the two, make one division, have all the tag teams that you have, because there's not many. What is it, like 6? Have the 6 tag teams float across the 2 shows, have the tag team division be a highlight match every single night, and bring back tag teams. I'm hearing rumors that they're bringing back Enzo and Cass, one of my favorite tag teams of all time. You want to establish tag teams? That's a good place to start. Bring the fucking Hardys back up for a couple more matches if they got it in them. Why not? Take whatever you can get. Because the tag team division used to be great. It's not going to be great with clowns like Austin Theory and Logan Paul just mishmashed into a tag. We get some real tag teams. I'm all behind that movement. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got Clash in Italy coming up in a week. I'll be back here for that, most likely. Maybe a day or two after. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel to make sure you don't miss anything. Do all the YouTube things while you're here. Hit that like button or you know, the new one, whatever it's called. The hype button, whatever is down there. And whatever buttons you can press down there, press all of them except the thumbs down. You know what? Screw it. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. It's interaction. It'll help this channel grow because the algorithm absolutely fucking hates my guts for whatever reason. And I'm getting texted at just the appropriate time because it's time to go. Thank you guys for being here. Go check out Saturday night's main event, at least up until the penultimate match. You don't have to watch the main event, but you can watch everything up until, and you're gonna have a good time. And we could probably thank Peacock for that. My name is Nick Nightmare. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, and we will see you next week for the Clash in Italy. Have a good one. Happy Memorial Day.